Good morning, everyone. Well, here we are back in the office, and we're living in sweltering conditions, aren't we? But somehow we'll survive. Just a clarification, in terms of what liturgical week we're in, I do apologize. I put down last week we were still in week 2. We're obviously in week 4 this week. Just my apologies. So we're still catching up, a little bit of mental jet lag, I suppose. Anyway, we're week 4 this week, and not week 3. Week 3 just went missing somehow. The approach that I'm taking at the moment is not to necessarily follow the liturgical cycle as I've done in the past, although if there's something significant like Ash Wednesday pops up, it's important that we do to pay attention to those things. But rather to look at questions that have been asked of me or that have popped up in discussions or whatever, and I just thought maybe I'd use this opportunity to enlighten us all. And it's good that we talk about these things. Having said that, it would help me a lot if you do have questions to send through to me and say, look, you think you can answer this in one morning or maybe over a couple of mornings? I'd be very grateful to have that kind of guidance. Okay, so the question that pops up today is something I came across when I was doing a retreat for one of the grade 8 classes the other day. And the question is, why should I be good? It's a good question to ask teenagers. Why should I be good? I mean, after all, people who are not good often get a better deal than those people who are good. Being good requires discipline. Being not so good means that you can get away with things, and sometimes the people who are not so good end up winning. And it's only really in the movies and in the cartoons and so forth that we see the good people come through and win the end. Although that ultimately is the message that we need to take from today. In life, we know that there's a lot of bad stuff going on around us. And it's not as if we are being drawn into it ourselves, but just subtly we are being influenced by it. And in order to have the motivation in terms of why should I choose the course of good rather than the course of bad, just to acknowledge that ultimately we are answerable to the Lord, and therefore there can only be one rule book for us. And challenging though it might be in this world, we need to make sure that we are making the decision to be good. And that doesn't mean to say that those people around us are going to make the same kind of decisions. And the way in which we approach it, obviously, is you can't force other people to change their minds, but we can only be the example that they follow. You have a wonderful day and keep yourself safe. We'll see you again. God bless. Bye-bye.